Here I am back with Agatha Christie, the ABC Murders. We're about to wrap up this game because I'm on 93%. So yeah, ending should be near. And it all will reach a final conclusion. I think at the table at the right side, Hercule is about to have some visitors that might be the true killers, or at least suspects or complicits. I'm not sure. And I chose the real bullets over the fake bullets just now. And now Hastings and I need to wait. So let's talk to him. For our guests.
What about telling me what you have in mind?
Surtout pas. You wouldn't be able to play your role. Wait one moment, I will bring you my weapon.
Okay, I have to present it. As you can see,
my revolver is loaded. I now have to give it to Hastings.
He hasn't used it in years, so this could be funny because I also could choose fake bullets. Okay, use it on Hastings.
Voila, I entrust you with my weapon. It has hardly been used, it is almost new.
Answer the phone, most certainly.
Chief Inspector, is that you?
Yes. Sorry, but we haven't found anything.
Have you checked the typewriter?
And the packaging, the letter, and the ribbon reel. We've only found prints left by Cust and his landlady.
Well, never mind, I shall make do.
So, are you still going to hold your meeting?
Of course, Chief Inspector. I can hear my guest coming up the stairs.
Why have you brought us here, Mr. Poirot?
Since Cust's arrest, I thought it was all done and dusted. Miss Gray formally identified him, as well as Miss Barnard.
Yes, and the stockings he saw drove the same brand as the ones found at my aunt's.
This is all true. However, a case is not closed if some questions remain open. And one question is, why did the murderer send me his letters? Why did he challenge me, Hercule Poirot?
Perhaps he wanted to play with you, to taunt you.
Xenophobia? Maybe he didn't like you because you're foreign.
I may be wrong, but maybe by provoking you he was looking for glory?
All these theories should be studied. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Really, in the middle of this conversation? Ooh, so many options. Okay, why did the murderer make a mistake in the address? Was it the murderer or was it the postman? I think it was the murderer. Now I think back on it. Why did he do it? The body was still warm. Doesn't make sense. Piece of envelope with the wrong address. Is that why he made the mistake? Not really. The letter's late arrival saved the murderer. It saved the murderer. So he could prevent the murder? Could be. Poirot's address is not very well known. Let's put it in there for you never know. The murderer challenged Poirot because he has an inferiority complex. The murderer challenged Poirot for glory. The error in the address caused a letter to be delivered late. Yeah, I know that. The murderer challenged Poirot out of xenophobia. The murderer always warned Poirot about his murders. I don't know, let's go with this. No. Okay, so we're definitely somewhere wrong. Let's put this out of the question. Let's try some other options. Okay, there we go. That was just a guess. The mistake is intentional. I established that, yeah. Why this? Oh no, why? All of a sudden the question changes. Why did the killer send his letters to Hercule Poirot? Because of xenophobia? No. Glory then? No. Complex? No. Oh, okay.
Is everything clear now?
You might like to explain your reasoning again.
Of course. First of all, remember that the murderer made it a rule to always post his letter before the murder. He never digressed from that rule. However, in Churston, he encountered a problem. The village has only 500 inhabitants. With advance warning, it would be easy to arrest him. Therefore, the murderer delayed his letters deliberately with the wrong address. The plan wouldn't have worked if he'd sent it to Scotland Yard or the papers because everybody knows their addresses. The mistake would have been corrected and the letter would have been on time. That is why the murderer chose me as the recipient.
Because for his plan to succeed, it was necessary for at least one of the letters to have a wrong address and get lost. It was very cunning.
Absolument. It is a very subtle plan. It matches the profile we have drawn up of him perfectly. That of an intelligent, daring and calculating murderer.
But that's not how you describe Cust.
You are quite right, mademoiselle. Like you, I find it hard to believe that this dull character is the clever murderer we are looking for.
Do madmen... I mean, if he's mad, he might have two very different sides.
No doubt. But the murderer is not mad. All the specialists agree that he does not have the profile of a psychopath.
But if Cust is not guilty, how do you explain his presence at the scene of the crimes?
Mr. Clark, the answer to your question is in the medical records of your brother's patients. Documents which Cust most certainly did not have access to. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
I could be dense, but I'm not sure what he's getting at. I guess we're about to find out. What do we know about Cust? He's easily influenced. I'm not sure. Cust tries to overcome his travel sickness by traveling often by train. I don't know. Cust buys a newspaper that report on the case. He wanted to see the crime scenes. Could be. Alice Asher and Betty Bernard are in Dr. Clark's medical records. It hasn't anything to do with Cust. Cust was a door-to-door salesman. It is a coincidence that he went to the victims' towns. Okay, that could be. Cust went to Bexhill because he wanted to swim. Cust was in the war and has never been quite the same in the head since. Cust was wounded during the war. The murderer found a way to access Dr. Clark's medical records and tried to burn them in order to hide his tracks. Nope. No. Okay, I'm just guessing again. I guess this one is wrong. Okay, maybe that's an assumption. Maybe we need to stick to the facts. And that is like this and this or this. Oh crap, I don't know. Let's use a clue. What did that do? He was wounded during the war. Is that one? Okay, and the other one is the train. No, I'm not sure what it was. Anyway, how to explain Cust's presence at the crime scenes? Cust is mentally fragile and easy to manipulate. Okay, it was the manipulation option. How to explain it? This one. And this one? No. Alright. He wanted to swim. Okay, I guess not this one. How to explain Cust's presence? Is that true? He wanted to see the crime scenes, is that it? No? Oh crap. Then what? Did he want to swim? It doesn't make any sense. Let's go with this. Okay, I don't know. Present me with evidence, Poirot.
Dr. Clark's patient's records provided a very useful list of potential victims, sorted by alphabetical order. The killer definitely used it, explaining the fact that all the victims were former patients of the doctor. It is this fact that clears Cust once and for all, because he never had access to these records. So how did he happen to be at the scene of the crimes? Either the murderer sent him there, or Cust was following him closely. Cust's highly suggestible nature leads us to the second hypothesis. The murderer was manipulating him. He systematically sent Cust to the towns where he was going to strike, so that the suspicion would land on the poor man's shoulder.
That's evil. What sort of killer could have such a plan? And what would he gain from 3 completely different murders?
Indeed, it seems unlikely that the same murderer committed all the crimes. What should we take from that?
Say that just one murder is of interest to the killer. Say that the murderer kills for pleasure. Say that the killer has developed a taste for murder. Say that there are 3 murderers. Couldn't be. Maybe A? Say the killer has developed a taste?
The murderer first killed for money, but then began to enjoy it.
But Mr. Poirot, the first murder was my aunt, and nobody had anything to gain from killing her.
Ah, certes. Therefore, this is not what happened.
Okay, this is wrong. Say there's just one murder is of interest. No, let's go with B. Say that there are 3 murderers.
There is not one murderer, but 3 accomplices, who all used the same scenario.
Do you mean that 3 murderers with quite different aims joined forces to create a smoke screen? Here's another question. Is it still necessary to find a motive for each crime? And the one in Andover poses problem. Why was poor Mrs. Asher killed?
Indeed. It would be best to forget this theory.
Poirot is making an idiot of himself. Let's go with the first option.
Just one murder was of benefit to the murderer. The others were just diversions. On reflection, there is only one conclusion. The murderer killed once out of interest, and twice to divert our attention. This reasoning points at 2 potential culprits.
Franklin Clark.
Donald Fraser?
Yes, mademoiselle. That's good thinking. Mr. Fraser may have killed Betty out of jealousy. Mr. Clark may have killed his brother in order to inherit his large fortune. Both have a motive.
But Donald did not have access to Dr. Clark's records.
Please allow me to disagree with you, mademoiselle.
This is taking a turn for the interesting. So Donald or Franklin Clark indicated Donald was treated by Dr. Clark, and I'm picking all the wrong options at this finale. I'm sorry about that. I'm just going along with it. And indicated Donald was resting at Churston. Indicated Donald's firm worked for Clark. Let's go with the first one.
Donald, too, has been treated by the doctor.
You're quite wrong, Mr. Poirot, and it shouldn't be difficult to prove.
Oui, please excuse me. It was a slip of the tongue. This is what I wanted to say.
Oh my.
Donald, Sir Carmichael was one of your firm's customers. We found a surveyor's report among his papers that proves it.
It doesn't prove that I went to Comeside.
You could have done it. And you may have used the opportunity to take a look at Sir Carmichael's records.
You think I'm guilty?
You or Mr. Franklin Clark?
That's ridiculous.
Both of you have a motive. The question is, which of you has the profile that most resembles the murderer? Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
I just hate when he says that. Alright, so I think that Clark is a murderer if I have to choose, but I could be wrong because I'm totally wrong. This game keeps you guessing till the end. Is Donald clever? Not really. Okay, now I have to choose. Megan really liked Donald Fraser. He would have made Betty a good husband. He was always attentive and generous, a true gentleman. Mr. Poirot, since Betty's death, I have doubts about myself. I don't know what to do. And I keep having a horrible dream 3 nights in a row. He's a bright man with a promising career ahead of him. Alright, he is. Is Donald sure of himself? No. It's an awful scene, she told him that. Until they were married, she was free to go with whoever she pleased. Donald turned quite pale and started shaking and kept saying, "One day, one day." No. Well, women seem to like him. I think Megan will take care of him. I'll sleep on a train. I like trains. It's easy to sleep, rocked by the sound of the wheels. No. And now I'm just guessing again. He's easy to influence. Is he a seducer? And that would be this one. No. I don't know. He is. Does he like trains? He does. Is he impulsive? Quick-tempered? Is he generous? He is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald may share many character traits with the murderer, but he does not have his cold indifference. He has a temper. It is hard to imagine him planning anything. Also, jealousy is his motive, and crimes of passion are rarely planned.
Right, I suppose it's my turn to be subjected to the same scrutiny.
Absolument, Mr. Clark.
Alright, there
Let
we
us
go.
now try and get our brain cells to
shut
work.
up. Stupid man. Is Franklin clever? Thor is evasive about her relationship with Sir Carmichael. School report for Franklin Clark. According to his teachers, Franklin was a good student, but lacked discipline. So he is. He's sure of himself. Take Franklin. He's fallen for her sweet, taking charms. He's a lovely boy, very plucky and sure of himself. But he's not. He's so naive when it comes to women. He is self-confident. Is he a seducer? I'm not going to read all that. But he is. Does he like trains? He reads about trains. Is he impulsive? That whole long story, TLDR. Is Franklin generous? I guess.
As you have all seen, there is a disturbing similarity between Mr. Clark's profile and that of the killer. In actual fact, it is exactly the same.
Mr. Poirot, your psychological studies are interesting, but your conclusions do not add up. Why would I have wished my brother's death? The inheritance is lawfully mine. I just have to wait.
No, you had to act quickly.
Because of Thora Grey?
Because of Miss Grey. Mademoiselle, although you haven't been telling the truth, there is no doubt in my mind that you would have found a way to marry Sir Carmichael after Lady Clark's death. For you, Mr. Clark, it was a disaster. If Miss Grey had children by your brother, you would not have inherited a thing. You realized the danger after reading several letters from Comside, especially one in which your brother opened his heart to you. So you hurried home from China, and you took action. In truth, Cust was no more than a puppet manipulated by the real culprit. You, Mr. Clark.
Such an imagination, Mr. Poirot. In fact, nobody manipulated Cust. The famous instructions he received by post. He wrote them on the typewriter. We know that for sure.
Oh no. You know perfectly well. That is not true. Eh bien voilà. Light has now been shed on the ABC murders.
Your theories are ingenious, but you haven't any proof.
One point to him. For the moment, I have no material proof. Either I admit to it, or I bluff.
Ooh. All right. What will you decide? Lie about the fingerprints found on Cust's typewriter. Invent an item of proof found in Alice Escher's tobacco shop. Say that proof is going to be easy to find. I don't know, let's go for the typewriter.
One thing proves it. The prints you left on Cust's typewriter.
Enough.
Oh, of course you wiped the typewriter before sending it. But not carefully enough. Scotland Yard has found your print along with those of Cust.
Game, set, match. You win, Mr. Poirot. But it was worth trying.
He did it?
Don't come near me! I'll never let you take me, Mr. Poirot! Took the law into his own hands.
He had no right. He should have paid for his crimes. I should have expected what he did.
Come on, Poirot. Everybody makes mistakes.
Exactly. Hastings, if one day I sound pretentious, please whisper these 3 letters in my ear. ABC. They shall remind me that we all have our limits, even me.
Disappointed at having missed the chance to become Lady Clark, Thora Grey left England. Donald Fraser and Megan Barnard married. On Poirot's recommendation, Mary Drower started to work for Lady Clark. The elderly lady's condition suddenly took a turn for the better. And a few months later, to Dr. Logan's great surprise, she was back on her feet again. According to this eminent physician, it appears to be an extremely rare case of spontaneous remission. Lady Clark has enjoyed very good health ever since. Journal of an Innocent. The incredible story of ABC. As for A.B. Cust, after being advised by Poirot, he made a great deal of money by selling his story to the press. And as for me, and with business booming, the Black Swan has become the #1 tourist attraction in the whole of Yorkshire, even more popular than York Minster.
Alright, and that's it. It's a pretty lame ending, I think. It was kind of shocking. You had to choose between real and fake bullets. And of course there were real bullets in my gun, in my choice. So he shot himself after Hercule miraculously found out he was the true killer. I'm not sure how he did it. All in all, it was a pretty lame game, I think. Pretty lame story with even lamer characters, but then again, I finished it. I think the TV shows are better than this video game. I'm not sure if they're planning future games. but my guess is that they have to make it better next time. So I got 457 out of 600 ego points, so I quite missed a few. I could play it again if I really wanted to, but not in a million years. I finished at 100%. Let's look at my bonuses. Timeline. I don't have to really rewatch that. Reconstructions. No. And you can see all my trophies. Let's see the ones I missed. Did I miss any? I did. Eagle's Eye. Is that the only one? No, there are more. Medium donkey, large donkey. Cleaning pussy. What is that about? Incense burner. Okay, I missed a lot. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this game. Or at least the playthrough. I know enjoying this game might be a little far-fetched, but who knows, maybe I like these type of games. For me, I like to have a bit more story, more character, and more tension, I guess, in my adventure games. The puzzles were clever at times. I think the little gray cell stuff didn't do it for me. It was just guessing, and I don't know, it was a little weird. But yeah, all in all, very mediocre, yet somewhat enjoyable. And I hope to see you soon on my, or see you back on my channel with me playing another game, most of the times adventure games. And till that time, I hope you enjoy your day.